We really didn't know what it meant to be godly parents. Now we're being loved, challenged, and encouraged by our church family.
I grew up in a broken house full of atheists that never really made me feel accepted or loved. And through Jesus, I learned that I am accepted, that I am loved by somebody.
Hi, my name is Brent Hewlett. I have the privilege of being your senior pastor at Grandview Church of the Nazarene. I love walking through our vineyards and orchards. Its fruit reminds me of the lives changed over the 93-year history of our church. Fruit that was once non-existent, or perhaps green, has now become fragrant, colorful, vibrant, ready for the harvest. We can look around our church and see lives radically changed, marriages healed, and sins forgiven, simply because our church made a decision a long time ago that we would do whatever it took to help people experience Jesus. We made some courageous decisions, some bold decisions, to ensure that hurting people became healthy followers of Jesus Christ. The fact is, you and I are no strangers to brokenness. We've experienced the forgiveness that only Jesus can provide, and now He has placed our church family in the middle of a valley who have broken homes, broken souls, and they desperately need Jesus to bring healing to them as well. A commitment to young families is important and very strategic for our church. During those young years, parenting skills are being developed. Boys are becoming men. Little girls are seeking their value. Marriages are so significant, and involved dads are desperately needed. GVNaz has decided that we must introduce Christ to these young families at such a strategic time. The great thing is, because of that commitment to focus on the openness of young families, we have seen some great changes in our church.
We have so many kids attending, we've run out of nursery space.
Our Wednesday night program can often have over 250 people meeting in every corner of the building, plus another 300 parents and kids playing soccer on our grass.
Our church has grown by over 50% in the last 3 years, and most of these are young, unchurched families.
We're being creative on identifying meeting space. Every room is in use on Wednesday nights.
These are great problems to have.
We have come to the place in our church journey that we feel we must remove roadblocks for future growth and invest in outreach ministries for continued growth in order for more people to hear about Jesus. Your leaders have spent a lot of time praying and fasting, and we know God is calling us to step out in faith to courageously bring life change and the gospel of Christ to the people of our valley. Bold initiative.
A bold new outreach and education initiative.
This is a step of faith that will allow us to respond to our community, our world, and our facility challenges in a way that is worthy of the gospel of Christ.
This initiative will allow us to remove any roadblocks to growth, as well as invest in ministries and tools that will let us effectively reach our community for Jesus.
Let me introduce to you the 5 areas of ministry this money would be used for. GVNaz must intentionally address the moral, social, and physical needs of our valley.
We also intend to financially support local ministries who would be willing to start new initiatives in the valley to meet these significant needs. Historically, we have been the church in our valley with a blessed amount of resources. Perhaps it's time for us to encourage other ministries who can be more effective than us in meeting certain needs.
Church growth experts have shown over and over that churches rarely grow unless they are starting something new. We are beginning to feel that it's not only our responsibility, but our privilege to begin an additional campus in our valley for our church soon. We want to have the right people and resources ready to invest in the spiritual lives of another community in our valley.
I'm excited that the BOLD initiative would make available $150,000 for international missions over and above our Faith Promise giving. To be effective in missions, we need to focus on multiplication, not addition.
In my experience, multiplication ministries can only be started when we provide a critical mass of both finances and leaders to ensure its success. This is why this new infusion of money will be divided into 3 large grants.
The first grant, for the training of pastors in one of the fastest growing fields. The second, for the development of evangelistic literature in one of the poorest fields. And the third will be to sponsor new Jesus film evangelism teams in the most closed fields.
We recognize that our building is merely a tool to draw people to Christ. I think all of us know that we must increase our space to meet our current and future needs. The BOLD initiative would allow us to make our building as effective as possible. First, we will build a separate education and administrative building. This will double our adult education space. The current offices will move to the new building, allowing our children's ministries to dramatically increase their space to meet future growth. Secondly, we're in a great need for a large multi-purpose room for added services, a teen worship center, weddings and celebrations. Imagine the blessing of having a space that could be used for large dinners, community events, and missions meetings for up to 150 people.
As our attendance and ministries grow by God's grace, we must ensure that we have the appropriate leaders in place as the needs arise. The BOLD initiative will provide the necessary support and pastoral leadership when it is both effective and needed.
And now I am asking you, the Grandview Nazarene family, to spend the next 36 months making bold, faith-filled financial decisions. They will allow us to make sure more people experience Jesus in our valley than ever before. On Sunday, November the 16th, I'm going to ask every single one of us to step out in faith and do two things. First, we will be taking an extremely important one-time offering. If it is possible for you to go ahead and give a large portion of your pledge, it would be greatly appreciated and needed. I'm asking you to give the largest single gift that you have ever given to our church. Second, we will ask every family to make a generous pledge that will be paid within 36 months. Remember, it will take every one of us being as committed and as faith-filled as possible. It is true that the size of our pledges will not be equal, but it certainly will require us to all be as generous as God leads us. The one-time gift and the 3-year pledge Darla and I plan to make is larger than any we have ever made. It will be over and above our normal tithes, offerings, and faith promise. We do so only by faith that God will go before and prepare the way financially. With a church our size, it is easy to feel that someone else can meet the need. Actually, the project is so large that it will require every single family giving with the greatest amount of faith. Would you join me in praying and then stepping out boldly in faith on November 16th to make the largest one-time gift and 3-year pledge that you ever have? Remember, during the BOLD initiative, go in peace, for He has already gone before you.